Mind, John, how he did look a bit shaken, and fair enough to him after that accident in the sprint race. He's come back well here.
Well, he's got carries on his helmet the sign Jesus loves you. Now he has a great deep faith, and I think some of that faith will be called upon here today to guide him through what was a difficult start to Sunday, but now the bonus of getting some points before the end of this feature race.
Just to remind you, he's only 17 years old, is Philippe Guimaraes. A real youngster, a bit of a baby face, but he's delivering so far here in the heat and humidity. At least he's a bit more used to the high temperatures than some of the other racers out there. This is the battle between Lebanon and Indonesia. Sadly, it's turned into a bit of a disappointing feature race for Lebanon. Daniel Morad, who started in third place.
I think had he been a little bit less aggressive with Team GBR at the beginning, the first, second or third lap into turn 7 and 8, just controlled himself. If GBR was coming through, just let them go through, because you've got the advantage of being at the front of the field. If you can maintain that, then it makes your race so much easier. But right now, Adrian Zhang under pressure again. Watch for the plumes of carbon dust and the defence from the South Africa car.
They were both on power boost, but that means that New Zealand is getting low on them.
Switch back possible? No.
But who's on power boost? Is either of them? Yes, South Africa's on it, but I'm not sure. Yes, I think New Zealand's got its last go.
Yes, it is. So this is the last gasp. 4 laps to go. New Zealand have no more power boost left, and he can do nothing.
Now they've got to get the braking right. Easy to overshoot the corner when you use the power boost. Of course, you've got to adjust your braking reference a little bit, but they both deal with that quite efficiently, and there's no advantage there for Earl Bamber.
So are we going to see USA's on power boost for no particular reason? I can't see why. They're 27 seconds behind Portugal, but 4.3 seconds ahead of Australia. New Zealand have nothing left and nothing gained on the run up into turn 4. South Africa is still in control, but under severe pressure.
Marco Andretti's managed to just ease away a bit from Australia, hasn't he, after that second round of pit stops. The gap now up to 4 seconds between himself and John Martin, and he's driven a pretty solid race here, Marco Andretti, I have to say. But we're just keeping an eye on this race for 5th between South Africa and New Zealand. Behind them, it's a 2.5 second gap back to Brazil. You can see Brazil and China in the background.
Yeah, what's a great shame. Great Britain again doing fastest personal laps, 1:49.1 on power boost. Just imagine where Great Britain would have been if Murad and Danny Watts hadn't had that incident up at turn 7. Again, brake. Look at the carbon dust coming from the front brakes of the South African car. I don't know how long Adrian Zhang can continue to hammer the brakes as he's doing, but he has to do something to keep New Zealand behind.
Carbon brakes on these cars this year, as opposed to the cast iron, the steel brakes that we had last year on the older car. But certainly there's a fair bit of wear on the car of Team South Africa at the moment. USA just flashing through the picture there. Then it's Australia running 4th. South Africa in 5th place. Again, the brake dust. You see it in the heavy braking areas, and that, of course, is one of the key braking areas down into turn 15, the final corner on the track. They cross the line. There are 3 laps to go. Ireland with a very comfortable 13-second lead. And Portugal still sitting strongly in 2nd place with their own advantage of some 29 seconds over USA. So the top 3 are really quite spaced apart. It's this battling group behind, but South Africa, New Zealand, with Brazil not far behind and Australia not that far ahead. South Africa certainly managing to derive something out of this weekend, because they seem to struggle. In fact, Earl Bamber's dropped back a bit there on that. Not quite sure what happened there on that last section.
If South Africa's having a lot of brake dust coming out, I suspect also Earl Bamber's used the brakes to the full limit of the car. But this driver and car combination, Ireland running remorselessly, 1:47.876. Portugal just nicking a couple of tenths back, but they're 13.3 seconds behind Ireland. Has been metronomic today, the Team Ireland performance. Adam Carroll absolutely on dazzling form.
Absolutely right, John. Yes, a man who has never had much budget behind him, but now finds himself in a situation he doesn't have to worry about the money. He can focus on the driving. Team Ireland have put their faith in him, and that has made a massive difference. Don't forget, he used to give a certain Nelsinho Piquet a pretty hard time in the British Formula 3 Championship, only just narrowly lost out to him in the title battle.
Yes, and of course you imagine the budget that Nelson Piquet had. I mean, astronomical, and all the testing that he had. But of course, Adam Carroll, and with the support of Dublin businessman John Sweeney for so many years, kept Adam just about in the frame. But it was Team Ireland that chose Adam Carroll, gave him the opportunity and the consistency, as well as the belief that he can go out and win on a regular basis.
2 laps to go now, and Marco Andretti as well What a great run this has been from the 21-year-old from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, of course, the home of the Andretti family. His dad runs the team. This is Andretti Green Racing making their introduction to A1GP. First time out was in China 2 weeks ago. And what a result is in prospect here for USA. A podium finish. Well, they've had a victory, of course, as a team in A1GP, but not as Andretti Green. Malaysia trying to get past Italy here. Oh, squeezing alongside.
It's interlocking wheels.
Absolutely, and getting sideways on the exit. Might get in now.
Well, has he got it now? You thought he had, but in fact, because Italy are on the inside and now Malaysia, I mean, they're giving each other room just about. Italy on the inside up into turn 4. Not an awful lot Faros Fauzi's going to be able to do here. But now, he can switch back. Now he's got it.
Oh, great. And it's for the final point. That is for 1 point after the dramas that they've suffered as well. Malaysia will at least get a point out of it because he's just fought his way past Italy.
Well, a superb bit of driving between two drivers fighting for the final point here this afternoon. Some people would say, well, why bother make the effort? Well, that's why these guys are here, because they fight for every opportunity and point that's available. Just too much by Italy. But even look, watch Faros Fauzi almost was prepared to throw it away.
Yeah, he was pretty wide, wasn't he, on the exit of the corner, puts the wheel right over the curb, and round he comes. So we're on to the final lap now. That was a well-timed manoeuvre from Faros Fauzi. He's not going to gain much more than that, but it's Team Ireland that is leading the way, an advantage of 14 seconds. That's an amazing advantage. Yes, he qualified brilliantly, and also some of his main rivals here today didn't have much luck in the feature race, most notably Switzerland, who had to start from the back and then spun out in the early stages. Team France, who started 9th and got a puncture early on, had to have an extra pit stop. Great Britain, fellow front row sitter, poor start by Danny Watts, then a broken front wing. So Ireland have had the advantage, but they have made the most of it in every possible way. And Adam Carroll is just now cruising his way around this Sepang circuit.
I mean, this has been a copybook performance from the entire Team Ireland effort. Adam Carroll never putting wheel off, just indulging a little bit of oversteer, a little bit of use of the 600 horsepower available to the A1GP car. Comes up for the last time on a racing lap into 14. Just again accelerates out. That's the car move. He likes a car that moves around him. He's not one of those drivers that wants the ultimate precision. As long as he's got a balance, he's going to win races.
It took a long time for Ireland to take their first ever win in A1GP. That was at season 3 in Mexico. But it has not taken very long at all for them to take their third win. They become the first repeat winners of season 4. Team Ireland takes the win in Sepang in Malaysia. Adam Carroll absolutely delighted with the feature race win here. He takes the 15 points maximum. What a result for the team. There's Niall Quinn in the middle there as well, the rookie driver. Portugal coming home in second place, some 15 seconds behind.
A reverse of what we saw in Chengdu, but a really dominant performance by Team Ireland, Adam Carroll. I mean, I think that's one of the finest races I've ever seen Adam Carroll compete in.
So waiting now for third place, and it's going to be Team USA, and it's going to be Marco Andretti. What a great result this is in only his third ever A1GP race. Well, his fourth race, I suppose. He did 2 races in Chengdu, but he didn't get started in the race here today, so really it's his third race. USA takes third place. Marco Andretti takes his first ever podium in A1GP. It's the first podium for Andretti Green Racing. Australia, an excellent 4th from South Africa. New Zealand 6th, and it's Brazil who just takes 7th. The Netherlands took 8th on the last lap. So Jeroen Bleekemolen got past China on the last lap, and Malaysia takes the final point for Faros Fauzi. What happened earlier? We still don't really understand why he came into the pits when he was running in a solid third place. But whatever, he has managed to come back and score the final point. And Malaysia may not be leading the championship anymore, but they will still be up there in the points. But Ireland have delivered, there's no doubt about that. They are the new series leaders. Team Ireland go into the new year break with control in the A1GP series, and that will mean so much to this passionate nation, for whom motor racing means so much, for Adam Carroll as well, who has delivered after the disasters of Zandvoort, where they scored absolutely nothing, despite being one of the teams to get their car early, to get some testing. They went into Zandvoort as one of the favourites and qualified up front, and then from then on it all was, as I say, a little bit of a disaster. And he's come back so strongly since then, with victory and a second place in Chengdu. and then a win here in the feature race to back up a solid finish in the sprint race earlier on today. He finished in 5th in the sprint race today, and really